vote.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I give notice that on Thursday, the 22nd September 2020, I shall ask the Minister of Transport, Honourable John Mutorwa, the following. The current term of the Transportation Commission of Namibia, an essential statutory body for the economic regulation of civil aviation in Namibia, ended on the 31st of August 2020. I thus ask, do you agree that the Transportation Commission of Namibia plays an essential role in the economic regulation of civil aviation in Namibia and that continuity is therefore essential? 2. Has a new Transportation Commission been appointed yet? If not, why not? And when will one be appointed? I so submit. On the same day, I will ask the Minister of Finance, Honourable Ipumbu Shimi, the following. In February 2020, I asked the then Minister of Finance whether Air Namibia had deducted pay-as-you-earn contributions from employees but had not paid this money over to the receiver of revenue. I also asked whether the same had been done regarding VAT. Comprehensive answers were given by the former minister, but it would seem that nothing has changed in the meantime. I thus ask, 1. Honourable Minister, in reply to my question 5 to your predecessor in February 2020, he stated that the Ministry of Finance has been appointed to withhold transfers to Air Namibia in respect of pay-as-you-earn deductions, together with penalties and interest not paid over by Air Namibia, as well as VAT defaults. Has this been done? And if so, what amount has been withheld? 2. Since the Ministry of Finance is aware that tax fraud has been committed by the management of Air Namibia by deducting pay-as-you-earn and not paying it over to the Ministry on due dates, what steps have been taken to institute investigation against responsible officials at the airline? I so submit, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Next, the Honourable Dr. Yambo, please.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. What's happening? Something. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable members, fellow Namibians, I give notice that on Thursday, 24th September 2020, I shall ask Honourable Tom Alwendo, Minister of Mines and Energy, the following questions. Brief background. It is well known and extensively documented that Namibia is inundated with an abundance of precious natural resources. Namibia's resources, by the way, are not just natural resources, it's precious, and like our diamond is gem diamond, for those of you who did not know. It's not just ordinary diamond. Since more than a century of exploitation, exploitative, imperialistic and annihilatory capitalist, colonialism, vigorous exploitation of our vast resources benefited the so-called conquerors. The 30 years of political independence beset with poor governance or bad governance, rampant corruption, and pathetically wrong comrades in the riot-sensitive places only worsened the status quo. Considering that our national foreign debt stands at, and I stand corrected here, 1.2 billion, the following questions suffice. Did we consider stockpiling our resources for future generations? Does the overexploitation and profits from our natural resources continue to benefit and enrich those who milked it for decades? A brief information again. Natural resources are inextricably linked to land, where it is directly exploited from. Hence, one of Namibia's insistence on the land, that is, the soil and the subsoil and waters, to be given back to the people. Third question then, could Cabinet think through, deliberate and resolute specific ceilings for land ownership in Namibia? Most of our resources are unrenewable, going at a very alarming rate, exploitation-wise, that is, and to exhaustion. Consequently, our national debt is escalating. How are we going to ultimately refurbish the huge foreign debt? Why are we not closing some of our mines for utilization by future generations with confidence, skills, and more knowledge? Independence should, in earnest, certainly transform the society. It should redefine, rededicate, redistribute, and proportionally, equitably enhance social justice. I so move. Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Martin, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 24th September 2020, I shall ask the Minister of Fishery and Marine Resources, Honorable Albert Kawana, the following. Number one, in December 2019, you met with a group of retrenched fishermen, of which you promised to retain their jobs. How far have you gone with this process? Number two, it has been over 9 months since your engagement with the retrenched fishermen. When are they getting their job back? Can you provide indication on when exactly that will be? Number three, just 3 months ago, the media reports indicates that this group have tried to have an audience with you, but to no avail. Honorable Minister, are you avoiding them? If not, please explain your immediate plans. Your immediate plans are regarding this situation. I so submit. On the same day, I hereby give the notice that on Thursday, the 24th September 2020, I shall ask the Minister of Finance, Honorable Ipumbu Shimi, the following. Number one, considering that many Namibian businesses are informal and are thus not registered or regulated, how is our GDP really being calculated if the percentage of informal businesses is on a steady increase each year? Number two, what efforts, exit plans, or aids have been made or given to assist informal businesses such as street vendors, hairdressers, bus and taxi driver, to mention a few, seeing that they do not meet the required documentation for the stimulus grant package that the government is giving out? Number three, if any plans have been made for informal business sectors, considering that most of them are not registered to any governing or regulatory body, what will then be their identification criteria? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next, Honorable Venani.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I crave for your indulgence under Rule 91 of the Standing Rules and Order to ask an urgent oral question to the Minister of Treasury, or Finance Minister, Naritunga's father.
Can we have the gist of the question?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, you have alluded or impressed upon government position on your intent to seek a loan from the IMF. For the last 2 years, we were predicting an IMF loan, but many of you were playing big and saying you are not there yet, but we are there. We have reached there. Have you secured the instrument, the loan facility? What is the interest on which we are going to pay this IMF loan? How much was loaned? And what is the purpose of this loan? How are we going to expend this money? Just elaborate, because it's a very important instrument.
Thank you. Honourable Minister. It is on.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think, I believe Honorable Venani's question is not very urgent. I think he can put it in writing so that we can give him substantive answers. Because this is a substantive issue.
It was an ambush question. Okay.
So we can come back to Parliament with a substantive answer.
Thank you. The Minister definitely will respond, and we leave it at that. Yeah. Let's move on to the Honourable Jennifer van der Heever.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 24th of September 2020, I shall ask the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Honourable Erastus Utomi, the following. An article in the Namibian newspaper on Monday, the 14th September of August 2020, reported that some members of the Shack Dwellers Federation at Walvis Bay are struggling to develop unserviced and unsurveyed land that was allocated to them by the local authority of Walvis Bay at Narwhal Extension 11. The group urgently needs funds to carry out levelling, servicing, roadworks, sewage, water pipes, and electricity installation services. It's rocket science to me that these people must do the service themselves. I thus ask the Minister, what possible interventions and steps can the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development undertake to help the Shack Dwellers Federation at Walvis Bay to service this land? Does the Minister not agree that if we are to defeat the urban housing crisis, government should prioritise assisting organisations such as the Shack Dwellers Federation? I so submit. Honourable Speaker, the same day I give notice that I shall ask the Minister of Works and Transport, Honourable John Mutorwa, the following. Honourable Minister, there has been a growing number of instances over the years whereby criminal elements are using number plates to commit crime. Often these criminals or the cars they use are rarely traced because the registration number plates used for these crimes are not authentic. If a person goes to the police station to open a case with a plate number that was an accessory to crime, you will not find it under anyone's name. I thus ask, what preventative measures does the Ministry have in place to ensure that citizens do not fall victim to these types of crimes? And secondly, why can't the government not adopt the American and British systems whereby your license plate number also becomes your license? This will effectively deal with this particular problem of using plate numbers for crime holistically. I so submit.
Thank you. Next, Honourable Ochap.